In today's vice presidential debate, likely the last debate we'll see in this presidential election cycle, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz laid out very different views on foreign policy, immigration, the economy, and more. Alter Al-Nashar has the recap.
The candidates defending ambitious economic promises like lower taxes for the middle class and higher wages, and how they'd be paid for.
Kamala Harris has said to do the things she wants to do, we'll just ask the wealthiest to pay their fair share.
She's been the vice president for 3.5 years. She had the opportunity to enact all of these great policies, and what she's actually done instead is drive the cost of food higher by 25%.
The two clashing on immigration, an issue both parties have struggled to address for decades.
We had the fairest and the toughest bill on immigration that this nation's seen. As soon as I was getting ready to pass and actually tackle this, Donald Trump said no.
We had a record number of illegal crossings. We had a record number of fentanyl coming into our country. And now that she's running for president, or a few months before, she says that somehow she got religion and cared a lot about a piece of legislation.
As conflicts worsen in the Middle East and Ukraine, Walz and Vance argued their ticket will be the steady hand America needs to lead.
What we've seen out of Vice President Harris is we've seen steady leadership. We've seen a calmness that is able to draw on the coalitions to bring them together.
Donald Trump actually delivered stability in the world, and he did it by establishing effective deterrence.
Hot-button issues driving voters to the polls like guns, abortion, and climate change also sparking heated debate. But will specific policies be what sticks with voters?
The candidates here want to make a good impression on the voters, give the idea that if they had to, they could step in and do the job of being president.
Well, and we do have some general election important dates. So here are those dates to keep in mind. Military and overseas absentee voting is already underway. The deadline to register to vote for November election is October 7th. That's next Monday. You can also register in person at boards of elections until 9 p.m. or online until 11 p.m. Absentee and early in-person voting begins the following day on October 8th. Early in-person voting includes the 2 Saturdays and Sundays before Election Day. And Election Day is November 5th. Polls open at 6:30 in the morning and close at 7:30 that night. You can find all our coverage of the issues on the ballot, plus details on our candidates at Dayton247now.com. Just click on the election heading in the news tab.
And the consequences in Springfield were the governor had to send state law enforcement to escort kindergartners to school.
And we are continuing our coverage tonight on the migrant influx in Springfield, and it was a big topic in tonight's debate as well. The city of Springfield, of course, on the minds as the vice presidential candidate debate put a spotlight on immigration. Jenna Lee Bork is live tonight in Springfield. So, Jenna Lee, how has this topic been impacting the community?
Yeah, Elise, we know the attention Springfield has gotten in recent weeks is largely due to what politicians have been saying. More funding for the community has come from the state, but this has been challenging for some community members to go through.
What I've tried to do as governor is focus on what our challenges are and what we have to do to fix the challenges or live up to those challenges. Now, this is a huge number of people that came into the community in the last 3 or 4 years. Any community would have had difficulty, adjusting.
With the election inching closer, key issues are taking center stage as voters decide what issues will impact their vote the most. A September 9th report from the Pew Research Center says about 61% of voters say immigration is very important to their vote. That's up from the 2020 election. Springfield has been at the center of the immigration debate. I spoke with someone who provides immigration services to Haitian immigrants about some of the misinformation that's been spread.
Immigrant living here, they have a status. Some of them have a U.S. citizen, some of them is permanent alien, and some of them is TPS, and some of them apply for asylum to all those things, so they're not illegal.
National attention on the number of immigrants who have come to Springfield in the last few years has prompted calls for more funding, and the state has allocated more funds in multiple areas. Governor DeWine announcing Monday the state will send over $1 million to Springfield schools.
The money we announced yesterday, I think, is vitally important for the schools. The schools are educating young people, young Haitians who now are Americans who, don't speak English. These kids are going to learn, they're going to be speaking English, they're going to be integrated into the community. This is all very, very important.
Still, the community has felt the impacts from all of the attention on this issue, and I'm told children are feeling the consequences of some of the words spoken by politicians.
I have a lot of youth complaint the way they acting, they're so worried, tell them, call them name, they eat this, they eat that in school, they have a bomb threat, other kids, other friends just make fun of them, they bully in school.
The state has also sent money for health care to Springfield. Governor DeWine saying the goal is for everyone in Springfield to have the medical care that they need.
Kettering Health also tells me if you recognize any symptoms of breast cancer or recognize any changes, don't hesitate. Reach out to your doctor immediately. Back to you.
Hurricane Helene's impact continues to be felt down south and even here in the Miami Valley. How local animal shelters are being impacted and what they're asking from you.
Plus, we're tracking some fall-like weather finally returning to the Miami Valley. How long it will stick around, that's coming up. Here's a live look from our EcoPlumber Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Thursday night, Tri-County North battles Preble.
We're continuing to track the impacts of Helene, now the third deadliest hurricane in the last 50 years. The death toll from that catastrophic storm nearing 160 tonight, and officials fear it may even continue to rise. North Carolina is still reeling from the brunt of Helene with extensive road and infrastructure damage. Governor Roy Cooper says some communities were simply, quote, wiped off the map. Hundreds of people are still missing, and some parts of western North Carolina still can't be reached by first responders. Hundreds of thousands of pounds of food and water are being airlifted to those in need. Tonight, local animal shelters, though, are asking for your help. After Hurricane Helene, they're seeing an influx of animals coming to the shelter from our southern states. Eli Burgett was at some of those shelters tonight and shares what they're asking all of you to do.
Along with many homes and businesses, animal shelters in the southern states have suffered in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. And in response, shelters in Dayton are stepping up, providing housing to those in-need animals. But given their minimal capacity, local shelters in the area need our help.
And obviously, most of the shelters are full. If it was as easy of us to bring the animals here, we would, but we can't because we're also full, which is why we're asking the public to kind of step up and to try to help for emergency foster purposes.
People can sign up to be emergency foster parents anywhere from 2 weeks up to 2 months, and the animal shelters can be flexible towards your lifestyle. Both SIXA and Dayton Humane say that they will work with all emergency fosters, providing food, toys, bedding, crates, and medical services for the animals while they are in your care. For anyone interested in becoming an emergency foster parent with either SIXA or Dayton Humane, you can find more information on our website, Dayton247now.com. Back to you.
Well, the victims of Hurricane Helene need our help, and Dayton 24/7 Now is partnering with the Salvation Army and our parent company for Sinclair Care's Hurricane Helene relief. Now, to assist those humanitarian relief efforts in western North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Virginia, and Tennessee. All the funds raised will go to emergency aid, including clean water, food, and cleanup kits. Head to sinclaircares.com or scan the QR code on your screen right now to make a donation.
Well, a cold front has made its way through the area, and as it pushed through, it did bring some showers along with it, as well as some cool-looking clouds. We actually saw a shelf cloud stream through the area, and now my video has frozen up on me. It was just moving, but I wonder if I move back. Here, hold on. I'm tempted to show this for you guys. There we go. All right, now it's playing out. You can see the showers. It's not playing the part I want to. But anyway, we had a shelf cloud pushing through the area, and it did make for some showers as it made its way through. But those showers now pushing off to the east with our cold front. It's on my Facebook page if you want to see it. But here's a look at what we're tracking. Overnight, we're going to look at temperatures falling into the upper 40s, right around 50 degrees. And then by tomorrow afternoon, just looking beautiful, right around 70. So it's shaping up nicely. Thursday, another chilly start in the 40s, but we do start to warm up back into the 70s heading into next week. So we will start to see our temperatures climb a bit or heading into the end of the week. And then next week, we start to see rain chances go back up. This will be with another cold front, which will even bring a bigger drop in our temperatures for next week as well. So I'll have a look at that 7-day in a bit.
We now know Iran launched about 200 missiles into Israel today, further escalating conflict in the Middle East. Defense officials say the U.S. helped defend Israel from the attack, utilizing warships stationed in the region to fire interceptors at the Iranian missiles. Now, authorities say a majority of the missiles were intercepted and caused only minor damage. And just moments before the attack from Iran, at least 7 people were killed, another 8 hurt in a shooting in Tel Aviv. CNN confirming the numbers with Israel's emergency services. Now, police say they stopped 2 attackers, describing them as apparent terrorists. According to authorities, that incident is under control tonight. And dock workers all along the eastern and Gulf Coast ports are officially on strike. 45,000 members of the International Longshoremen's Association are fighting for better wages and against automation. Contract talks have made some progress, but not enough to satisfy the workers. If prolonged, the strike could devastate supply chains and drive up prices for everyone. Estimations say the strike could cost the economy roughly $4 billion per day.
Well, cooler weather starting to slide into the area. Temperatures hanging out in the 50s and 60s. So you could already see how our temperatures have fallen to 55 in Wapakoneta, 55 Up in Bell Fountain right now, 60 in Dayton, but cooler air will continue to slide in heading into the rest of this evening. And so the kids heading out to the bus stop in the morning, they're going to be dealing with a chillier start to the day, right? Around 50 degrees, lower 50s, sunshine by the afternoon with temperatures getting up into the lower 70s. Some spots may even stay in the upper 60s, so it is going to be certainly on the cooler side heading into the day tomorrow. So, of course, you'll want to plan accordingly with that extended forecast showing temperatures back up to 80 on Sunday. We do have a chance for some showers, but starting off next week, notice those high 60s and then dropping into the mid to upper 40s for lows by next week.
State and city leaders celebrating the opening of a second aircraft rehabilitation center here in the Miami Valley, the economic impact it'll have. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Take Dayton 24/7 Now News.
A second aircraft maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility is now open at the Dayton International Airport. Governor Mike DeWine and Lieutenant Governor John Husted joined leaders from the Sierra Nevada Corporation to celebrate the opening. The 100,000 square foot facility is capable of supporting some of the largest aviation projects in the world.
This is an amazing thing for the Dayton region. It is a $13 billion contract that Sierra Nevada has received that's going to create in the region nearly 350 jobs, $31 million in payroll, and a lot of these jobs will pay over $100,000 a year. And they're skills that you can earn at the local career center or at the community college to go here and work.
Both Husted and DeWine say that the aircrafts within the facility are vital for national security. Well, fans across the baseball community continue to mourn the loss of Reds legend Pete Rose, what he meant to the fans, and the latest information on his cause of death. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
It's time to square off against
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Welcome into the